This is Terrence Andre Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions, coming to you talking to you about the economy, and actually came across this interesting article from CBSNews.com. As always, I'm going to put a link inside the description for Money Watch. More Americans are forced to reside in their vehicles. Now, we're supposed to be in the second largest economic expansion inside the United States. The Dow still seems to be at its high, and we're supposed to be told that this is supposed to be the best economic times in the last 50 to 60 years. But again, you have titles like this: more Americans are forced to reside in their vehicles. And this is not coming from, non-mainstream news. This is actually coming from a mainstream news source. The number of people, so let's dive right in. The number of people who live in their vehicles because they can't find affordable housing is on the rise, even though the practice is illegal in many United States cities. The number of people residing in campers and other vehicles surged 46% over the past year. A recent homeless census in Seattle, Kings County, Washington, found the problem is exploding in cities with expensive housing markets, including Los Angeles, Portland, and San Francisco, according to Governing Magazine. The problem of vehicle residency is a national in scope, although its impact may be more accurately felt in urban areas where space is more limited, said Sarah Rankin, as assistant professor of law at Seattle University and director of Homeless Rights Advocacy Project, in an email to CBS Money Watch. Challenges abound for people who live in their vehicles, ranging from racking up parking tickets to finding a safe place to park and shower, advocates say. A recent survey by the National Law Center on Homelessness and Poverty, which tracks policies in 187 cities, found the number of prohibitions against vehicle residency has more than doubled during the last decade. Much like outdoor camping and sleeping bans, citywide restrictions on living in vehicles may leave no lawful place where homeless people may live in a community, NLCHP said in a recent report. Bans that permit vehicle impoundment or that result in impoundment flowing from unpaid tickets or other enforcement of such bans can cause homeless people to lose their shelter, transportation, and personal belongings in one fell swoop, with no realistic option to retrieve or replace them. It is a frequent problem for the youth and veterans who turn to the Volunteers of America in Illinois for help, impacting perhaps one-third of the organization's clients, said Ariel McCool-Cunningham, manager of Veteran Support Services. People don't consider themselves to be living in their car if they're only doing it for a couple of nights here and there, and so they're not self-reporting that, she said. Since our climate is a lot colder, they don't typically stay in their cars long-term unless it's in the summer months. Stephanie Monroe, managing director of Children, Youth, and Family Services Volunteers America, Dakotas, tells a similar story. At least 25% of the nonprofit Sioux Falls clients have lived in their vehicles at some point, even during winter's sub-freezing temperatures. Many of our communities don't have formal shelter services, she said in an interview. It could lead to individuals resorting to living in their cars or other vehicles. Homelessness rose last year, making its first increase since 2010, according to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. About one-third of the homeless population was described as unsheltered, which includes people living on the streets and in their vehicles. HUD's data doesn't provide more specific information. A fair number of the vehicular homelessness in Silicon Valley are employed but are unable to find affordable housing, as the Associated Press noted last year. So imagine if you're living in Silicon Valley, you are employed, but you can't afford affordable housing. Lines of RVs can be found near the headquarters of tech heavyweights such as Apple, Google, and Hewlett-Packard. Nationwide, extremely low-income renters are facing a shortage of 7.2 million rental homes, according to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition. A lot of times, once you lose your home, it can spiral downwards from there, said Megan Hustings, interim director of the National Coalition for the Homeless, in an interview. We have seen people living in their cars anywhere from a couple of weeks to months to years. Fascinating article. Not a source that I don't usually look at mainstream, but I'm starting to look at more of their articles. I look especially for CNBC and CBS. Eventually, you can't keep this stuff under wraps and go, even though it's not getting as much attention as it should. Something's afoot. Get prepared. We're living in the most troubling economic time since the Great Depression. I believe it's sometimes even worse because we don't even have the skill set that we had back then to defend for ourselves. So if this video has been any value to you, please like, subscribe, leave some comments, and until my next video, I'm out.